Hey folks, welcome back to the Eternal Mind Prison that is a mysterious JG Let's Play. Although it's not a Nobunaga's Ambition or Romance of the Three Kingdoms Let's Play, so it's not quite as eternal a mind prison. But it is Let's Play Lost Odyssey, and last time we had memories of Kime surviving the boredom of prison by getting tortured more frequently than was necessary. There is apparently... has this guy got stuff to say? So we're jail warden. So strange to see the start riots over and over again. All they was extended their sentences, you know? I have no idea why they can't. So we're not going to elucidate him. You're the immortals. Well, yeah, so that guy, the prison warden is sitting there at a table with a guy who's not really paying attention to him. Counterattack has been repelled. I'm weak-willed. Alright, so we got one more memory here. Then we do have another memory at the park, which I just didn't trigger somehow. And then there's like two little things we want to do in the elevator room, and then we're kind of ready to get out of here. And it looks like if I'm willing to go a little long or a little short, depending on how long these memories take, this session may get this whole 3 video for those watching them as they go up. What I get done in 3 videos kind of matters to me. We could be really oh, see, that lady's got like... Oh, never mind. I saw the ruffle on her dress, and she kind of looked a little bit for just 1 second there like Final Fantasy X-2 Yuna, I guess, in her gunner dress here. Yeah, like, I think we've got just about enough that by the end of this video, we'll be just about ready to jump into the next, you know, where I load save progress. So that's actually pretty handy. Let's, I really thought you were going to be the memory. Stupid damn magic guns. Think I could just stop and take my job away from me. Come on, Dad. I gotta get you home already. Kime recalls memories of more drunk people. A dream has been revealed. What stupid voice will I use for this dream? Maybe the name will tip us off. A mother comes home. Mother, tell your daughter not to look my way. A boy has lost his smile, though he denies it. A boy has lost his smile, though he denies it. Don't be silly, Kime. Look, I'm smiling, aren't I? Oh, this is the boy. I guess he's a little boy. Don't be silly, Kime. Look, I'm smiling, aren't I? He draws his cheeks back and lets his teeth show white against his own brown skin. If this isn't a smile, what is? Kime nods but says nothing. He pats the boy on the shoulders as if to say, sure, sure. Come on, really look at me. I'm smiling, right? Right, you're smiling. All right, forget about me. Hurry, let's go. The boy has a sweet, open nature. He made instant friends with Kime while the other townspeople kept their distance from the strange traveler. Oh, they think he's some kind of a tinkerant. Not that the boy chose the much older Kime as a playmate. He leads Kime to the tavern, which still hasn't opened its doors for the day. I hate to ask you to do this, but would you please? The boy's voice seems to have carried inside. A man in the tavern peels off a drunken howl. He sounds especially bad today. Kime fights back a sigh and enters the tavern. The man on the bar stool is the boy's father, drunk again at midday. But the tavern isn't even open. The boy is here to take him home. He looks at his father with sad eyes. The tavern isn't open yet and this guy's already drunk? Kime puts his arm around the father's shoulder and discreetly moves the whiskey bottle away from him. Let's call it a day, he says. The man shoves Kime's arm off and slumps down on the bar. I like you, he says. Yes, I know, says Kime. It's time to go home, though. You've had enough. You heard me, Kime Drifter. I hate you guys. I really hate you guys. Oh, sorry, I'm yawning again, trying to do a drunk voice. The father is always like this when he is drunk. Charlie curses at all drifters, picking fights with any man dressed for the road, and finally slumping to the ground to sleep it off. His son is too small to drag him home. With a sigh, Kime finds himself again today supporting the drunken father's weight to keep him from toppling off the bar stool. The boy stares at his father. His eyes a jumble of sadness, anger, and pity. Another happy story from the crew at Lost Odyssey. I hope at the end of the game, the entire planet is destroyed by meteorites because, like, we take over Grand Staff, and the good end is that we wipe out this whole species with meteors because apparently life is terrible on this planet. When his eyes meet Kimes, he shrugs up to say, "Sorry to keep putting you through this." But Kimes is used to it. He has seen the father dead drunk almost every day for the past year, ever since the boy and his father were left to live alone. Oh well, the boy says with a strange smile as if trying to resign himself to the situation. Poor Papa. Poor me. Supporting the father's weight on his shoulder, Kim gives the boy a smile and says, "Yes, but you don't go out and get drunk the way he does." Ahem, the boy says, puffing his chest out. "I'm not old enough to do that yet, but I will someday. Sometimes kids are tougher than grown-ups." Kime broadens his smile to signal to him, "You're right." "Of course I'm right," the boy all but says with the smile he gives back. It is the only kind of smile the 10-year-old has managed to produce in the past year. So bitter it would numb your tongue if you could taste it. Does bitterness numb the tongue? That's a basic smile. It's not acidic. The boy's mother, the father's wife, left home a year ago. She fell in love with a traveling salesman and abandoned the boy and his father. Oh, okay, well. At least now we're getting a story where the tragedy is caused by women being unreliable. So that's a new twist. Up to this point, the very few female characters we've encountered have all been like kind of angelic and perfect. But now we're going to get a story about how pain was brought about by some woman being a flighty whore. "Mama was bored," the boy says matter-of-factly, looking back on his mother's infidelity. "She got tired of doing the same thing every day. That's when she met him. At the tender age of 10, the boy has learned that there are certain stories that have to be told with a matter-of-fact tone. The father was born and raised in the small town and worked in the town office. He was not especially talented, but it was not a job that called for talent or a quick wit. All he had to do was follow orders with diligence and submissiveness, and he did exactly that year after year without making waves. He called our life peaceful, but Mama didn't think so. She said it was just ordinary and no fun." She was attracted to the life of the crafty traveling salesman. It was risky and exciting, like walking on top of a prison wall. One misstep and you could end up inside. And then you would be forced to send yourself to the torture room if you wanted to make the time pass. I guess he's a traveling salesman. He must be some kind of like bunco. Is that the correct term? He must be some kind of like traveling con artist if his life is that dangerous. Because, I mean, the danger of being a traveling salesman otherwise is that, you know, you won't make a lot of sales and won't be successful. It's not quite dangerous in the way that they're describing. Papa told Mama that the man was deceiving her, that all he wanted was her money, but he couldn't get through to her. Mama couldn't even think about us back then. With utter detachment, as though holding it at arm's length. By the way, because the word Mama appeared in the title, JG's using this voice, but I, the narrator, hereby state that I am not this person. I would never do that to my family if they existed. With utter detachment, as though holding it at arm's length, the boy reflects on the tragedy that struck his family. "I've heard the saying, love is blind. It really is," he says with a shrug and a sardonic laugh like a full-fledged adult. Kime says nothing. Children should act their age is another saying, but probably not one that could be spoken with a great deal of meaning to a boy who had lost his mother's love. And even if Kime presumed to admonish him, the boy would likely pass it off with a strange smile and say, "Sometimes kids are tougher than grown-ups. It was my fault. I wasn't a very entertaining child for her." The boy's father, however, shows his displeasure when his son uses grown-up expressions. "Old Torp's lost all his boyishness. He despises me now. He thinks I'm pitiful. Deep down he's laughing at me for letting my wife be taken by another man, damn him." It bothers him especially when he is drunk, so then don't drink so much. His annoyance far outweighs, like, drinking is not usually driven by, like, this type of drinking, I guess, is not usually driven by logic. His annoyance far outweighs his fatherly love for his son. Sometimes he even slaps the boy across the face, or tries to. When he is drunk, the boy can easily dodge his slaps, and he ends up sprawled on the floor. That's a sentence that's using a lot of pronouns. Because when he is drunk, the boy easily dodges his slaps, and he ends up sprawled on the floor. Like, I feel like you could read that to say that when the boy is drunk, he can dodge the slaps, and then the boy ends up sprawled on the floor. I'm looking for my own fun in this fucking bleak game. Even as he's drowning a seal liquor, he sometimes turns unexpectedly serious and starts asking questions. Say, Kim, you've been traveling for a long time, right? Uh-huh. Do you enjoy it all that much, going to strange towns? Many strangers can't be all that... Is it so wonderful you'd be willing to abandon the life you're living now for it? He says the same thing over and over. Kame's answer is always the same. Sometimes it's enjoyable, and sometimes it's not. He doesn't know what else to say, and apparently the old guy is too drunk to remember anyway. You know, Kame, I've never set foot outside this town. Hey, with my father and my grandfather, my great-grandfather, and the ones before him. Father's been born here and died here, my wife's family too. They had roots in this town for generations, so why did she do it? Why did she leave? Why did she need so badly that she had to leave me on her own son? Kame merely smiles without answering. The answer to such a question cannot be conveyed in words. Besides, Kame doesn't know it. Try though you might to explain it, the reason certain people are drawn irresistibly to the road can never be understood by people who don't have that impulse. The father is simply one of those people who could never understand. What a piece of shit, he deserves it. Failing to elicit a reply from Kame, the father sinks again into a sea of drunkenness. I'm scared, Kame, he says. My son might do it too. Well, leave me here someday. Maybe I'm talking like a grown-up because I'm so scared I can't stand it. The boy's mother eventually comes back. She's only been gone for an hour. The traveling salesman cheated her of every last bit of her savings, and the moment she was no longer of any use to him, he left her. Physically and mentally broken, she has only one place to return to, the home she abandoned. She kills herself. First, she writes a letter from the neighboring town, and when her husband reads it again and again through drink-clouded eyes, he laughs derisively. Serves her right, the miserable witch. I guess you can't use the B word in this game. He makes a show of her tearing the letter to pieces in front of Kime without showing it to his son. Well, he's drunk. He's not thinking that straight. Also, we're no indication of whether the letter asks for forgiveness or just matter-of-factly lets him know that she's coming back. Kime tells the boy everything and asks him, do you think it was right for me to tell you this? Should I stop interfering with what you and your father... Should I stop interfering with your father's ability to run his family? No, Kame tells the boy everything and asks him, what do you want to do? Whatever you decide, I'll help you make it happen. I've got nothing better to do. Whatever I decide, the boy asks in return with his usual detached smile. If you want to leave this town, I'll let you have enough money to help you get by for a while, Kame says. I can do that much. He is utterly serious. Kame is willing to let this 10-year-old boy just go out of town and set himself up. Kime thinks that's a good idea. The father has no intention of forgetting his wife. He will almost certainly turn her away if she shows up, and probably with a proud, vindictive smile on his face. Oh, forgiving his wife. Kime knows, however, that if the mother loses her home and leaves this town once and for all, the father will go back to drinking every day, cursing his wife's infidelity, bemoaning his own fate, taking out his anger on strangers, and constantly revealing the worst side of himself to his son. Kime's long life on the road has taught him this. Constant travel means meeting many different people, and the boy's father is undoubtedly one of the weakest men Kame has ever met. He despises him and thinks he deserves his wife's infidelity. He despises the wife. He despises the kid for being too grown up. Kime is a ball of hate. You could join your mother and go to another town, or if you wanted to go somewhere by yourself, I could find you work. Either would be better, Kime believes, than for the boy to continue living alone like this with his father. The boy, however, seemingly intrigued, looks straight at Kime, revealing his white teeth. You've been traveling a long time, haven't you, Kime? Uh-huh. Always alone? Sometimes alone, sometimes not. The boy gives a little nod, and with a sad smile of grown-up says, You really don't get it, do you? You know what's so crusted fresh about you, Kime, is that you just don't get it. What's that? All this traveling, you still don't understand the most important thing. The sad smile takes on its usual bitter edge. I was born in this town and I want to leave. I'm one of those guys. Kime finally learns the boys talk about 3 days later. A tired-looking woman in tattered clothes drags herself from the highway into the marketplace. The townsfolk back away from her, staring, leaving her in the center of a broad, empty circle. The boy's mother has come back. Wow, the whole town hates this lady, huh? The boy breaks his way through the crowd and enters the circle. The mother sees her son, and her travel-withered cheeks break into a smile. The boy takes one step, and then, again, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, he does the Mario. The boy takes one step and another step towards his emaciated, smiling mother. He is hesitant at first, but from the third step he is running, and he throws his arms around her. He is crying, he is smiling. For the first time that Kame has seen, he wears the unclouded smile of a child. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me, his mother begs in tears. She clasps his head to her bosom and says, she's got the breasts of a woman, by the way. They have the swelling of an adult. I just want to make sure everyone's clear on that. And smiling through her tears, you've gotten so big. Then she adds, I won't leave you again. I'll stay here forever. A stir goes through the crowd. It comes in the direction of the tavern. This story better not end with a death. Now the father breaks through the wall of people and enters the circle. He is drunk. Stumbling, he edges towards his wife and son. He glares at his wife. The boy stands between them, guarding his mother. Papa, stop it, he yells. Mama's back. That's enough, isn't it? Forgive her, Papa, please. His voice is choked with tears. The father says nothing in reply. Glaring at the two of them, he collapses to his knees, his arms open wide. He says, Madam, you may have been unfaithful, but I... He unfolds both his wife and son. The shattered family is one again. Papa, please, don't hold us so tight. It hurts. The boy is crying and smiling. The mother can only sob. The father weeps in his rage. Witnessing the scene from the back of the crowd, Time turns on his heels. Realizing that maybe he was wrong to try to kidnap this child and take him on the road to become some kind of young mercenary. Suddenly, bloodshed. Are you really leaving? The boy asks again and again as he accompanies Kime to the edge of town. I want to get across the ocean before the winter sets in. Papa's already missing you. He says he thought you two could finally become drinking buddies from now on. You can drink with him when you grow up. That's the thing to do. Why don't you follow your father into alcoholism? When I grow up, huh? The boy cocks his head, a little embarrassed, then he mutters, I wonder if I'll still be living in this town then. No one knows that, of course. Maybe some years from now, the father will spend his days drunk again because his son has left his home and town and family. And yet, Kime recalls something he forgot to say to the boy's weak father. We call it a journey. So he doesn't say this. He just remembers. It's like, oh man, I thought of what I should have said to that guy, and that would have put him in his place. We call it a journey because we have a place to come home to. No matter how many detours or mistakes a person might make, as long as he has a place to come home to, a person can always start again. I don't get it, says the boy. Kime remembers something else. Oh shit, another flashback. Smile for me, he says one last time, placing a hand on the boy's shoulder. Like this? And then he leans over and does a sexy pose. I hope Zerfal's watching this series. Like this? He reveals his white teeth and his cheeks wrinkle up. It's a good smile. He has finally managed to retrieve the smile of a young boy. End? Oh, God. I want it to end before something terrible happens. Now your turn, Kime. Sure. The boy studies Kime's smile as if assigning it a grade. Maybe a little sad, he says. That he is joking makes his words hit home all the more. The boy smiles again as if providing a bottle for Kime. Okay then, he says with a wave of his hand. I'm going shopping with Papa and Mama today. Shopping for booze. Kime smiles and walks away. Then he hears the boy calling his name one last time. Even if we're saying goodbye, I'm not gonna cry, Kime. Sometimes kids are tougher than grown-ups. Kime does not look back. His only reply a wave of the hand. The boy's expression would probably change with their eyes met. He decides to play it strong to the end. The end? Kime walks on. After a brief respite, his journey with no place to go home to starts again. A journey with no place to go home to. The poets call that wandering. End! Okay, good. Nobody died. This is the first story where nobody died. Presumably, like, lots of people, like, they all die eventually, and the father probably quite young of alcoholism, but... Come on, Dad, I gotta get you home already. I'm gonna kill your mom or whatever. Alright, well that took forever, so I'm not getting everything done I expected to in this video, but we can still hopefully do one more memory. And at least then, when we come back next time and wander over towards transport to get out of town, we will have some story scenes where our party's assembled. We'll have some combat tutorials. If I can get this memory knocked out, even if we go a little long, I think we will be like one video away from being I mean, we'll be advancing, but we'll be one video away from advancing past where I've already been. That's what I'm trying to get to. Okay. I am not seeing where this memory is at. There's a memory called Little Liar. Oh, it's at the central station, so I'm on the wrong screen entirely. Okay. Oh, you know what? Okay, here's what we'll do. I'm a little uneasy about... There's something I don't want to forget to do that I just think would be content to be shown off here. Yeah, so there is something else that we need to do in this video other than a memory. And another memory, if it goes as long as that one did, is going to keep us going long, so... Screw it, I just have to try to remember. There's some puzzles to be solved in the big elevator room, but we can't get there without going through this room first. And going through this room and walking up to people is probably going to trigger that memory. So let's just knock out the memory, and hopefully next time we're playing, I will remember. And if I don't, we can backtrack to this place, and those puzzles should still be available, although they won't be if I save the game. Alright, well, maybe I'll do, we still got to see this memory. Honestly, the worst case scenario is I play it from the menu screen and be safe where I found it, and you don't get to see us wandering up to a person who says one line of dialogue, which causes... Because, I mean, it's not... Oh, never mind, this is it here. God, now I recognize the bench. You know what? My dad works in a magic production factory. He's the boss of the whole place. I'm not the boss of anything, really. I'm glad she's proud of me, though. Everything I do for her. Kime recalls a memory that was locked deep within his heart.
I should have talked like this. Gigi didn't realize I was a girl. A dream has been revealed. Little liar.
The story of Donald Trump's hands. His hands are individually liars.
Everyone in this marketplace hates this little girl. Not 10 years old and far from having outgrown the sweet innocence of childhood. She doesn't even have breasts yet.
Wait and see if that comes up. I keep referencing it jokingly because of that first memory, but let's see if they actually describe the fact that she doesn't have the swelling of an adult.
She earns only open contempt from the grown-ups who have shops in the market. The reason is simple. She lies about everything. Hey, mister, I just saw a burglar go into your house.
Look, lady, everything just...
Look, lady, everything just fell off your shelves. Hey, everybody, did you hear what the traveler said? Bandits are planning to attack this market. Even the most harmless white lies can be annoying if repeated often enough, and the shopkeepers have found themselves growing angry.
You better watch out for her, too.
The lady greengrocer warns Kime.
Nobody here falls for her lies anymore, so she's always on the lookout for newcomers or strangers. Somebody like you would be a perfect target for her.
She could be right. Kime is new to the town. He arrived a few days ago and just started working in the marketplace today.
What do her parents do?
Kime asks while unloading a cart full of vegetables. He cares more about people in his memories than he ever seems to in the game. The woman frowns and shakes her head with a sigh. She doesn't have any.
I mean, she doesn't have any. They died. The mother, at least, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. She was a healthy young woman who never so much as caught a cold in her life. Then one day she collapsed, and that was it for her. How about the father? She sighs
More deeply than before and says,
he left to find a job in the city, working for the man every night and day, and he never lost a minute of sleeping, worrying about the way things might have been. Sorry.
The parents used to operate a variety store in the market. Though the market almost single-handedly took care of the actual buying and selling of the many goods they carried. Mother, rather, did. As soon as she died, the shop's fortunes took a plunge until it was eventually taken over by someone else. The father went off to the distant capital in search of a good-paying job that would enable him to cover their debts. He promised to come back in 6 months, but he has been away a whole year now. Letters used to arrive from him on occasion, care of his friend the tailor, but these two gave out about 6 months ago.
So he's dead. That's great. I guess you could say it's sad for such a little girl to be waiting around for her father to come home, but still. I guess it's sad that this poor little girl has no one to take care of her, but that doesn't excuse her lying to people, and we're never going to do anything to help her ever.
The girl now sleeps in a corner of the communal storehouse run by the people of the marketplace.
We all used to talk about taking care of her to be stand-in parents for her until her father comes back.
This is no surprise to Kame. He knows from his own experience that all the people who work in the marketplace, and not just this plump, kindly woman, are good-hearted and generous despite their limited means. Otherwise, they never would have hired a stranger like himself.
I thought they were going to say this doesn't come as a surprise to Kame. He's used to people talking about doing the right thing and then never getting around to doing it, because that's what's happening. But long before the 6 months went by, we were all heartily sick of her. She was a sweet, simple girl while her mother was alive, but this experience has left her kind of twisted. All of her sweetness is gone. Of course we all feel sorry for her, and we take our turns feeding her and dressing her up in hand-me-downs, but the way she keeps telling lies to all the grown-ups, nobody really cares about her anymore. Why can't she see that? What the fuck? What the fuck? Why can't this little 10-year-old girl who's lost both of her parents see why the people of this town are unhappy with her and improve and fix herself? Like, she is clearly the problem here, not us. She must be lonely, don't you think? With a pained smile,
The woman shrugs and says,
that's enough gabbing for one day. Work, work.
and she goes back inside the shop. She's horrible. These people are horrible. Anyways, Kime is sorting the vegetables he has unloaded in front of the shop when he hears a little voice behind him. Hi, mister, you new here? It's the girl.
Uh-huh.
You're not from this town, are you?
No, I'm not.
Are you living upstairs while you work here?
For a while, at least. That's what I'm hoping to do.
I'll tell you a secret, okay? This town's fucking terrible. It's starting already,
Okay.
Kime says without pausing in his work. There's a ghost in this marketplace. The people here don't tell anybody about it because it's bad for business. But it's really here. I see it all the time.
Really?
Kime responds with feigned surprise. He decides to play along with her rather than scold her for lying. In this endlessly long life of his, he has encountered any number of children who have lost their parents and been abandoned by them. And, of course, kids who've died in earthquakes, girls of various breast sizes dying tragically of disease. The sadness and loneliness of children who have been cast out in the wide world alone are exactly what Kime feels himself as he continues to wander through the infinite flow of time. He finds himself collecting memories of sad little lost children and really not remembering much of anything else. It's kind of rough.
What kind of ghost?
A woman, and I know who she is. It's the ghost of a mother who lost her child, she says. Her little girl, her only child, died in an epidemic. Overcome with grief, the mother chose to die, and now her ghost appears in the market every night searching for her daughter. The poor mother. She killed herself so she could be with her daughter, but she can't find her in the other world either. So she keeps looking for her here and calling out, "Where are you? Hurry and come with Mommy to the other world." The girl tells her story with deadly seriousness. Don't you think it's sad? She asks Kime. She actually has tears in her eyes, which is precisely why Kime knows she is lying.
Whoa!
If she was just stoic about this shit, Kime would believe it was true. Even if he had not been born by the woman, he would know this is a lie based on what she told him about the girl's background.
Wait. Even if he had not been warned by the woman, he would know this is a lie based on what she told him about the girl's... So if she hadn't warned him he was a liar, or she was a liar, he would know that she was lying based on other things that the woman told him. Did the woman tell him there's no such thing as ghosts?
Kime carefully arranges bunches of well-ripened grapes in a display crate and asks the girl,
Why do you think the mother can't find her daughter?
What? The girl asks him with a dazed stare.
Well,
he explains,
the girl is not in the other world, and she's not wandering around in this world. So where is she?
Kime does not mean this to be a cross-examination.
And the thing is, you can ask kids questions about that, about stories they're making up, and they, kids will adapt. They might, sometimes they'll just say, I don't know, but sometimes they'll make shit up. Like, kids are good at this kind of, like, kids don't usually fall apart on cross-examination. They might say something that's completely implausible, but, like, just like, it's not a reaction I've seen from, like, my niece or nephews at any point when this kind of story is going on.
He simply feels that someone who lies out of sorrow can have a far easier time of it by recognizing the life for what it is. The loneliness of a girl who has lost her mother and has been abandoned by her father consists not in telling one little lie, but in having to keep on lying.
What?
Now that you mention it, that's a good point, the girl says, smiling calmly. Really, where did the girl go? Kai momentarily considers pointing at the girl as if to say,
Right here.
Before he can do that, she continues, This is the first time anybody ever asked me that. You're kind of different. I wondered. No, you are. You're different, the girl insists. I think we can be friends. Her smile deepens. Kime smiles back at her, saying nothing, knowing that this too was a lie. Just then, they hear the lady greengrocer coming from the back of the shop, and the girl dashes away. Just before she disappears around the corner into the alleyway, the girl gives Kime a little wave as if to say, See you soon. For the first time, the face of the girl, with the all too grown-up speaking style, shows a hint of childishness befitting her years.
Yeah, these memories love little kids who are forced to grow up early because of tragedy.
The girl continues. The girl begins coming to see Kime at the shop several times a day when the lady greengrocer is not around.
Yeah, because that lady greenmother's I'm sorry. I know at least one person who watches these series who doesn't like this word, but this lady greengrocer's a fucking bitch.
She tells him one lie after another. Kime cross-examines them all. I baked cookies with my mother last night. I wanted to give you some, but they were so good I ate them all. Bandits kidnapped me when I was a little baby. But my father came to save me and beat up all the bandits so I didn't get killed. My house?
I didn't ask.
It's a big white one at the foot of a mountain. You're new here, so you probably don't know it. It's the biggest house in town. You don't have a family? You're all alone. Poor Kime. I wish I could share some of my happiness with you, but I can't for undisclosed reasons. All her lies are born of sorrow. Sad, lonely lies. She could never tell to marketplace people who know her background. At the end of every chat with Kime, as she is leaving, the girl holds her finger up to her lips and says, This is just our little secret. Don't tell the lady grocer. Of course, Kime says nothing to anyone, because Kime doesn't talk much. If he happens to find himself in a situation where the market people are speaking ill of the girl, he quietly slips away. It's the only way to control the rage bottling up inside of him. It's the only way to stop him from murdering them en masse.
Because they're assholes. This little girl needs someone to take care of her.
Lies and disparagements are funny things. They don't take shape because someone tells them.
It's with this piano tinkling in the background, too.
They don't take shape because someone tells them, but rather because someone listens to the voices and agrees with them. A truly isolated individual can never speak ill of anyone. The same can be said regarding lies. Because she has someone to tell lies to, the girl need not fall into the abyss of true isolation. To protect her small, sad share of happiness, Kime plays the role of her listener, raising no objections.
I mean, yeah, you're working a fucking boring-ass retail job and somebody comes in to talk to you. That's not too bad.
One day when the girl comes to see Kime, she takes special care not to be noticed by the lady grocer or the owners of the neighboring shops. Tell me, mister, are you planning to stay here a long, long time?
No, I'm not,
Kime says, continuing to unload vegetables and fruits. You'll be leaving when you save up enough money?
Probably.
But you don't have enough yet?
I'm getting there,
he says, turning a strained smile on the girl.
Yeah, it sounds like she annoys him too, but like he realizes that this poor girl needs something. Oh, never mind.
This is a little white lie of his own. He already has enough money to support himself on the road, nor is he taking his current living job because he needs money so badly. He is here because he has not found a destination he wants to travel to. A journey without a destination is an endless journey.
Maybe I'll go on a journey.
Wise men say that you need dreams and goals in life, but dreams to accomplish and goals to realize shine as guideposts in life precisely because life is finite.
Yeah, I pondered that in like a... God, way long time ago. The screenplay idea I had in college about like a vampire who was working at like an overnight donut shop because he'd been alive for hundreds of years. Just didn't really see a whole lot of purpose to any of it anymore.
So then, what should be the dreams and goals of one who has been burdened with a life that has no end? Kimes is not a journey to be hurried.
I mean, fucking Kime has nothing else going on. Now, again, all of these dreams are optional. I guess the very first one you probably have to encounter. But these dreams are optional. You don't even have to view them. They can kind of all be viewed in isolation. Like the fact that in one of the dreams he had a family who died in an earthquake has nothing to do with the dream where some guy who wants to see his family again gets stabbed or shot. Like, but like the Kime of these stories could be like, yeah, like fucking raise this girl as your daughter and live vicariously through her for a while, and then eventually she's going to get old and die, but, you know, whatever. Like, I don't know. It does seem like a lot of, like, just because I'm not immortal doesn't mean that, like, I wouldn't also be like, hey, I can do the minimum for this little girl and listen to her lies, but, I don't know that I could be bothered to raise her as my child.
Times is not a journey to be hurried, nor is it one that can be hurried. Perhaps drifting day after day with no destination cannot be called a journey. If I were you, says the girl, I would get out of this marketplace as soon as I had saved up enough for 2 or 3 days of traveling. Kime responds to her with a silent, pained smile. What would be the look on the girl's face if Kime were to tell her,
I'm staying here for you? She would probably look at him and say,
well, get the fuck out and take me with you.
I am finding the meaning of my life for now and providing you with a listener for your lies.
The moment those words came to mind, words he could never actually speak to her for undisclosed reason, the girl looks around furtively and says in an ear whisper, if you want to get out of here soon, I know a good way you can do it.
A good way?
Sneak into the tailor's and steal his money. There's a little pot in the cabinet at the back of the shop. It's full of money.
Are you telling me to steal it?
Yes. She looks straight at Kime without the slightest show of doubt in her eyes. In all seriousness, she goes on to explain, that tailor deserves to have his place robbed. The money in the pot, she says, is tainted.
Oh, is the tailor keeping the money that is from her dad?
I know this girl, a good friend of mine, she says, and it's so sad about her. Her mother died, and her father went off to work in the capital, and she's all alone. Her father was supposed to come and get her after 6 months, but she hasn't heard a thing from him. Yet another lie born of sorrow. Kane calmly asks,
If there's some connection between your friend and the tailor?
Of course, she says, a very close connection. What's really happening is the father was sending her money every day, every month, the way he was supposed to help make her life in town a little easier. And he kept writing to her. He wanted to tell her he found a good job in the city and she should come to live with him right away. He's too busy to come for her, so she should come to him. And he sent her money for the trip, but none of the letters of the money ever reached the girl. And why do you think that is? And how would I possibly know about it? Before Kime can answer, the girl says, the mistake he made was to send the letters and money care of the tailor. He's been keeping all the money for himself. Kime looks away from the girl. In order to prop up one last sad lie, the girl has piled on still a sadder one. A lie that can hurt another person.
Well, this is true.
This is the saddest thing of all.
But she's also 10. And she may actually believe this.
The lock on the tailor's back door would be really easy to break, the girl adds. And she gallops away without waiting for Kime's reply. The girl comes running into the grocery store the next morning, shouting for the owner. She says directly to the woman, not to Kime, burglars broke into the tailor's shop last night. She says she saw a number of burglars sneaking in late at night after the marketplace emptied out.
My, oh my,
says the woman with a forced smile.
That must have been just terrible.
She's obviously not taking the girl seriously. But it's true, though. I really saw them.
Look, little girl, I've had just about all I can take from you. You're such a little liar. It scares me to death to think about you growing up to be a burglar and a con artist or something. I'm busy trying to open my shop now. Do you mind? Try it on somebody else. No one cares about you. You are not loved. Fuck you.
She's hardly through speaking when someone outside shouts, help! Somebody come! The tailor is standing in the street looking horrified, screaming at the top of his lungs. But burglars! They took...
Said, help! Somebody come! Burglars! They took away all my money!
The little girl slips away as the tailor comes in.
I hope the little girl did it without Kime's help.
The marketplace is in an uproar. The girl was not lying, that much is certain.
So Kime is helping this girl out now by committing robberies on her behalf.
But all too accustomed to her lies, the people now suggest the possibility of another kind of lie.
Maybe she did it. What do you think?
And so it begins.
I think you may be right. Talk about play acting.
I wouldn't put it past her.
Let's go find her. We'll make her tell, even if we have to get a little rough with her.
No one objects to this suggestion. Some run off to the storehouse and others start searching the marketplace.
Like they start before they even catch this girl, they're already talking about like child abuse. Another fun story from Lost Odyssey. Can't find her anywhere. The storehouse is empty. She ran away with the money.
As the searchers return with their reports and speculation, Kime finally understands everything. After all her sad lies, the girl has left behind one final truth. This town is full of assholes.
She couldn't have gotten very far. Yeah, we could still catch her. The little thief. Wait till I get my hands on her.
The men rage and the women fan the flames.
Good, give her what she deserves.
We were so nice to her, and now look how she treats us. We can't let her get away with it.
A dozen men start to run after her, but Kime stands tall on the road, blocking their way.
I am the out-of-towner who is here to judge all of you.
Hey, move it.
The men are cold for blood. But Kime knows if he felt like it, he could knock them all down and they wouldn't be able to lay a finger on him. He's that big of a badass! Kime, he's the toughest dude ever. You pussies don't stand a chance. Instead, he relaxes his powerful stance and throws a leather coin pouch on the ground in front of the men.
The stolen money is in there.
He says,
What?
Sorry, I stole it.
A confused stir quickly turns into angry shouts. Kime raises his hands to show he will not resist.
Do what you like with me. I'm ready. You can even throw me in prison, and maybe that'll turn out to be that prison from before, and there's actually some kind of coherent narrative to this.
The lady grocer breaks through the wall of men, shouting at him.
How could you do this, Kime? I wanted the money, that's all. And you're not just saying this to protect the girl? The woman's
intuition is too sharp. Forcing a smile, Kime turns to the tailor and says,
It was in the pot in the cabinet, right?
The man nods energetically.
It's true, he must have done it. I had that money in a pot. He's a thief.
The money wasn't the only thing in the pot, though. Was it?
What are you saying?
You had some letters in there, too. Letters from the girl's father.
That's a lie. Don't be crazy. Why would I have kept those?
Ha ha! They are going that way. It's true, though.
No, there couldn't have been any letters. I threw them all.
The
Taylor claps his hands over his mouth, but it's too late.
It was too late.
The lady grocer glares at him.
What's this all about?
She demands.
No, I mean...
You better tell us everything.
The people's angry glances turn from Kime to the traitor.
Or Taylor. Excuse me, I thought it said traitor for a second.
Some days later, 2 letters arrive from the girl addressed to the lady at the greengrocer from the nice man upstairs. Kime's letter says the girl managed to find her father in the capital. He has no way of knowing whether this is true or not.
Wait, what? 2 letters arrive from the girl. Oh, the girl left town. With the money. He has no way of knowing if this is true or not.
It is hard to imagine a little girl finding her father in the big city so easily without knowing his address or workplace. But at least the 10-year-old is able to write and send letters. Still, she decides to believe it when the girl's...
Yeah, I guess you can write by 10.
Still, he decides to believe it when the girl's letter says, I am happy now. Human beings are the only animals that lie.
Wait a second! There are fish who have things growing out of their heads that look like lights to attract other fish so that they can eat those fish. That's kind of a fish lie.
Lies to deceive people, lies to benefit oneself, and lies to protect one's own heart from the threat of crushing loneliness and sorrow. If there were no lies in this world, how much strife and misunderstanding would surely disappear. On the other hand, perhaps it is because this world is a mixture of truth and lies that people have learned how to believe. When he is through reading this letter, Kime turns to the woman. Concentrating on her own letter, she shyly raises her head with a sense Kime is looking at her.
I give up, she declares. Listen to this.
I am so grateful to you and the others in the marketplace for all you have done for me. I will never forget you as long as I live. A liar to the bitter end, that girl.
A liar to the bitter end, that girl, she says, smiling
Through her tears. End.
Wait a second. Did this little girl tell Kime about the robbery? Like, so she robbed the place and escaped, right? Let me know in the comments. I think she broke in and stole the money because she did use it to get out of town. Somebody did steal the money, so it was the girl. Why did she tell Kime about it in the hopes that... Why did she tell Kime about it? Did she tell Kime about it because she was hoping he would steal it and then take her with him? Or did she steal it, or did she tell Kime about it in the hopes that he would incriminate himself to rescue her, which is what actually happened? What the fuck? That story just stopped making any sense at the end. But it's easily my favorite of the stories so far. I mean, I don't hate the story of... Well, I guess I do kind of hate the story about the wife who left her son and husband, and he became a drunk. And, oh, no, not an operation. Okay, never mind. What? I gotta find a safe point, because I gotta call it a video. We're way over. Here we go. Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on with that one, but it's my favorite story of them so far, because it's kind of the cutest of them. The story of the family where the guy became an alcoholic and Kime didn't think that they would ever be able to recover, but they did, and they're living as a family again, was the most, like, you know, transparently, simplistically positive and upbeat. But the story of the Little Liar Girl is my favorite by a considerable margin, and yet it made no fucking sense whatsoever. And it was the story, ultimately, of a town full of assholes who just didn't take care of this little girl, even though we were told there were all these simple folk who always take care of their own. And it was a story of an adult who was taking money that was being sent to... I mean, it's a very Dickensian story in a sense. But we're way over, so I'm going to stop talking now. When we come back next time, I'm not going to record anything for this game for the next couple of days, so I'm hoping I remember. We got some elevator action. We have like a puzzle to solve involving elevators. Then we'll be ready for more story sequences. But for at least for now, we're done with the memories. And maybe I'll be thinking about the little girl, liar girl, next time. And maybe I won't. Either way, if I keep talking, I'm going to have to split this one after the fact. So let me shut up and edit. Bye-bye.